Part 1, Chapter 1, Section 4. Some winning positions in the middle game. By the time the student has digested all that has been previously explained, he, no doubt, is anxious to get to the actual game and play with all the pieces. However, before considering the openings, we shall devote a little time to some combinations that often arise during the game, and which will give the reader some idea of the beauty of the game once he becomes better acquainted with it. Example 11. It is black's move, and thinking that white merely threatens to play queen h6 and to mate at g7, black plays rook e8, threatening mate by the way of rook e1 checkmate. White now uncovers his real and most effective threat. Rook e8, queen takes h7 check, king takes h7, rook h3 check, king g8, rook h8 checkmate. This same type of combination may come as the result of a somewhat more complicated position. Example 12. White is a piece behind, and unless he can win it back quickly, he will lose. He therefore plays knight takes c6, bishop g5. He cannot take the knight, queen takes c6, because white threatens mate by queen takes h7 check, followed by rook h3 check. So knight e7 check, queen takes e7. Again, if bishop takes e7, then queen takes h7 check, king takes h7, rook h3 check, king g8, rook h8 checkmate. So rook takes e7, bishop takes e7, queen d7. And white wins one of the two bishops, remains with a queen and a bishop against a rook and a bishop, and should therefore win easily. These two examples show the danger of advancing the g7 pawn one square after having castled on that side. Example 13. This is another very interesting type of combination. Black has a rook for a knight and should therefore win unless white is able to obtain some compensation immediately. White in fact mates in a few moves thus: knight f6 check, g takes f6. Forced, otherwise, king h8, queen takes h7 checkmate. So queen g3 check, king h8, bishop takes f6 checkmate. Example 14. The same type of combination occurs in a more complicated form in the following position. Bishop takes d7, queen takes d7. If bishop takes e4, then queen c3 threatens mate and therefore wins the queen, which is already attacked. So knight f6 check, g takes f6, rook g3 check, king h8, bishop takes f6 checkmate. Example 15. A very frequent type of combination is shown in the following position. Here, white is a pawn behind, but he can win quickly thus: bishop takes h7 check, king takes h7. If king h8, then queen h5, g6, queen h6, and wins. So queen h5 check, king g8, knight g5, and black cannot stop mate at h7 except by sacrificing the queen by queen e4, knight takes e4, which would leave white with a queen for a rook. Example 16. This same type of combination is seen in a more complicated form in the following position. White proceeds as follows: knight takes e7 check. This clears the line for bishop takes e7 to stop the knight from moving to g5 after the sacrifice of the bishop. Rook takes e7, knight takes e7, bishop takes h7 check, king takes h7. If king h8, then queen h5, g6, bishop takes g6 check, king g7, Queen h7 check, King f6, g5 check, King e6, Bishop takes f7 check, Rook takes f7, Queen takes e4 checkmate. So Queen h5 check, King g8, Knight g5, Rook c8, Queen h7 check, King f8, Queen h8 check, Knight g8, Knight h7 check, King e7, Rook e1 check, King d8, Queen takes g8 checkmate. This combination is rather long and has many variations. Therefore, a beginner will hardly be able to fathom it, but knowing the type of combination, he might under similar circumstances undertake and carry out a brilliant attack which he would otherwise never think of. It will be seen that all the combinations shown have for a foundation the proper coordination of the pieces, which have all been brought to bear against a weak point.